like to congratulate His Highness Sheikh Saif bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, on the occasion of the National Day of United Arab Emirates. I'd like to thank him also for the direct support for our activity. His approval is giving our course the power to overcome any difficulties or challenges. Our thanks extend to Major General Khalil Dawood Badran and our Director, Brigadier Salim Saleh Al-Jani. Our course is included in the master list of international courses that qualify for ESSR diploma. What you have to do is to register to apply online on their website. Our courses are giving 2 credit points, one for the intermediate and one for the basic. And you have to get another 2 credit points from other 2 courses.
So we're starting with goals and calculates. Because this is an intermediate course, you are a very good ultrasonographer, I know it well. So the target joint for rheumatoid arthritis with early erosions, fortunately, are accessible for ultrasound. We have not to apply any pressure, otherwise the Doppler signal disappears because the vessel are collapsed by the pressure.
What are the elementary issues that we see in the enthesis by ultrasound? We can see hypoechogenicity. Here we can see a more heterogeneous aspect of the enthesis in the epicondyle, and we see this hypoechogenic aspect of the tendon and the thickness of the tendon that is clearly abnormal.
Well, you see this morning how Esperanza and Naredo started with the surface and substrate of bone. So for example, when it comes to muscles, so you have to follow carefully now the structures of the muscles. And while you're doing that, already you've been told by Drs. Grainger and Naredo that you have to have graded compression.
The one here are the most frequent that you can look for with ultrasound. It's on the elbow, the ulnar collateral ligament of the elbow, which can be torn in some sports like baseball or golf or tennis. You can see here the cortical bone of the tibia. You see this ligament is also very thin and linear shape, which is linearly arranged, and which measure between 1 to 2.5 millimeters. That's the maximum for a ligament.
On the other hand, the stromal tissue, the connective tissue surrounding them, the epinephrium, looks hyperechoganic. So when we go to weak areas are the fascicles containing axons, Schwann cells, myelin sheaths, and so forth. You see fusiform thickening of the nerve proximal to the inguinal ligament, and then when the nerve crosses the inguinal ligament, you see a thinning of the nerve.
I don't know whether we actually have a talk on soft tissue masses. It might be a useful thing to have another year, but other things that I take into consideration are mass effect. A sarcoma pushes tissue away from it as it expands. It has a lot of mass effect.
When you go towards the wrist, you can follow the ulnar nerve down. You can switch color Doppler on, and you identify the artery, and at the same time the nerve. Okay, this is the movement of the flexor digitorum superficialis now, related to each of the fingers. Okay.
Pronator quadratus, right or for right to left. Okay. So it is really a transverse muscle in the forearm. These muscles are the flexor muscle coming to the end. Pronator quadratus, that means from up to down, because I am now in sagittal plane, and you can see that the pronator quadratus.
So if you look at this, remember that on long axis we ask him to curl his finger. Okay, okay. And then I want you gentlemen to practice. Right? And then you do the dynamic.
See the peroneal tendons here, and it's this is the ligament here. And without the lights on, it's even easier. So if you follow it, you find it. Should we have a look at the deltoid ligament?
Go to the palmar aspect of the joint. This is the capsule. To do hyperflexion. And you can see the cartilage. And this is, in fact, the cotonicity is different here, no? This is the ligament.
Examiner's head, and then we'll begin to appreciate proximal to distal.